Yeah, students, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No need to message and all because in university sometimes net is going. Okay, so don't text and all. I'll be back. So there is some problem with the network here in campus.
All right.
Is it seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, so what is the difference between kinetics and catalysis, student? Can anybody say? In simple thing, what is the major difference between kinetics and catalysis? Yes, make it fast.
Catalysis is a process which increases rate of reaction without changing equilibrium constant.
Hmm.
But
Ma'am,
kinetics,
Yes, tell Deepika.
but kinetics may change equilibrium constant position.
Okay. Okay, we will just see what are the things. It's a small part of the thing is included. As you have seen in catalysis, we just started up with the definition what a catalyst is and the major different types of catalysis as well as the processes behind it and the derivations of it. Now, in this case, with respect to kinetics, we'll just see the rates of the reactions and how it's going to proceed further. Okay. So chemical kinetics is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of rates of chemical reactions, the factors affecting it, and the mechanism by which the reactions is going to proceed. So how do you give up with the reaction? A simple reaction you can just take any normal reactions and mention it. Accordingly, you will be writing how it's going to be dealt with the rates of the reaction. And the stoichiometric compositions and other things will be also seeing all those things and how the expressions is going to be the rate equation and all those things. So finally here chemical kinetics is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of rates of chemical reactions, so factors affecting it and the mechanism. Sometimes the questions can be the correlations of two aspects, maybe kinetics and catalysis. I generally ask my students in a different way. So try to understand what it is and how the question actually goes and then give me the thing. It cannot be a straightforward whatever you have done till now in your school days. Maybe you might have written some definition and derivations towards it, but this is going to be slightly different. So kindly prepare it as per the requirements of the current scenario. Okay. So the rate of the chemical reactions might depend on the variables such as pressure, temperature, and the presence of catalyst too. Now here the change in the concentration of the reactants or products per unit time, if you're going to see, the instantaneous rate of disappearance of one of the reactants at a given time is minus dR by dt. Similarly, the rate of formation of one of the products is going to be dP. How do you represent the reactants and the product, students, in a simple reaction? Can anybody say to me? See, till now we have seen the catalysis and the reactions and other things and all. By this time, you know, this is kinetics is very simple. You might have, most of you in your CBSE and whatever branches of study you have done, you might have studied, isn't it? How many of you have studied kinetics in school?
yes, ma'am, we have.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
definitely you have a
Yes,
bit of
ma'am. We have.
kinetics and everything, thermodynamics and all, isn't it? Now the same thing this time, the syllabus we have just incorporated a bit, maybe in a more expanded manner, especially with respect to thermodynamics and other things. Kinetics and catalysis is very simple. Okay, now can anybody tell how does it proceed with respect to the rates of the reaction when you're going to write about the reaction? So here
Ma'am,
the
yes.
instantaneous, yes, tell me, who is that?
Ma'am, I'm Arshia.
Ashia, tell me Ashia.
Ma'am, A plus B gives us C. A and B are the reactants, and C is the product.
Yeah,
So,
anyway you can just, yeah, it's not necessarily A, B and all, any way of representing can be done,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
Yes.
So, ma'am,
So not
the
necessarily. Yes. The
Sorry.
thing is, when you're going to, maybe I can give you XY, I can give you the other way also. So whatever it is, not necessarily A, B, and you should know how the reactants as well as it is go towards moving towards the products, and how do you represent the reaction. The rate of the reaction is very important. That's what you're going to study in kinetics. Okay. So now here you can just see here the instantaneous rate of disappearance of one of the reactants at a given time minus dR by dt. Similarly, the rate of formation of products dP by dt. So the negative sign indicates that the concentration is decreasing with time. So consider a general reaction. See here they have just given you with A plus B tends to C. Here the rate of the reaction can be written this way: minus dA by dt is equal to my dB by dt is equal to dC by dt. Considering another general reaction with the stoichiometric coefficients I was telling you, so you might have studied all these things in your school days itself. So here where A, B, C and D are the stoichiometric coefficients, and how do you write with the rate of the reactions further? So now write this as one equation 1 and again 2. So this is just a representation. So you can write it anyway. So make this clear and then proceed. So minus 1A by dA by dt is equal to, and how do you represent the terms in with respect to the stoichiometric coefficients? How do you go ahead with the rate of the reaction?
Ma'am,
So the rate, yes, the rate law is the, yes, tell me, who is that?
ma'am, I'm Shamal. Ma'am, actually, I'm having a doubt in the rate of reaction. The previous slide,
Yes, tell me.
ma'am. In the, you have marked that equation 1. In that, ma'am, dB is also a reactant, right?
Yes, yes.
So, ma'am, though the rate of reaction will be written as minus dB by dt now. But here in the equation, it is written as dB by dt.
Okay, I'll clear it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
The rate law is a relationship between the rate of the concentration, which are related by the proportional constant K, that is the rate constant. So you write the rate constant as K. So this is again the general equation A of A plus B of B terms to give you C of C plus D of D. So the rate equation can be written this way. So rate is equal to rate constant into the concentration of A as well as the concentration of B. So where M and N are the order of the reaction in A and B respectively. So K is the rate constant. So the above equation you can just see the rate law. So first you just think about the definitions, how you are going to proceed with the reaction. So that's going to be the rate of the chemical reaction and what are all the variables that can be done. And then finally you go ahead with the representation, how you are going to write with the reactants as well as the products when you write with respect to A plus B tends to C. And the other way you can write the stoichiometric coefficients also in this way, and proceeding it to the rate law, that's the relationship between the rate as well as the concentration, which are related by proportionality constant K. This is again is quite known. Okay, rate is equal to K into A of the concentration of A, that is with respect to your reactants, and M and N are the order of the reaction. So the above equation is called as rate law of the reaction. So this one have you written, students?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. See, students, I will just I will, don't interrupt me in the middle. Maybe at the end I will ask you. Okay, if you have, because lot of portions to be dealt with. So at the end we can just share with you some of the queries, whatever you're going to have. So will be clarified. Okay. So the important points about rate laws and rate constant. Yes, who is that? Shyamal? Yes, you have some doubt.
Ma'am, I have a doubt actually. Well,
Yeah,
I don't have a doubt. I need a
maybe,
slide.
yeah, student, try to do not interrupt actually. So whatever clarifications you have, you can post to me individually. Okay. So now this cannot be done. Maybe I need to, I'm already slow going with the compared to other classes. I'm just going very slowly. So let me just finish off all those things and get back to your queries with respect to kinetics as well as catalysis and thermodynamics. Fine.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, the rate law is not limited to reactants, so it can have the product term. For example, you can just write this way: the rate constant is actually independent of the concentration, but depends on the temperature. So that's known again. So some of the points to be remembered with respect to the rate law as well as the rate constant K. And the units of K vary, determining the units for this rate constant by considering the units for the rate as well as for the concentration. So you can just see the order of the reaction, maybe the first order, second order, third order, and the pseudo first order reactions and all you might have studied. And let me just post with you some of the examples related to the zero order, first order, second order, as well as the other one. So overall, if you see the rate, the order of a reaction, where M is the order of the reaction in with respect to your reactants, that is N, A, and B. So M and N are the order of the reaction. That's how the rate law has been going on. So the overall reaction order is the sum of the components in the rate law. So M is equal to 0, 0 order, and 1 first order, and 2 is second order. So for examples, when you're going to post this way, so the reaction, simple reactions if you take, and then tell me what it is, that way you're going to proceed with respect to the 0 order, first order, second order, and how it is. So a simple example you can just take, not necessarily what are the examples I have given, you can also refer to the other textbooks, so to have the lot of examples with respect to the order of the reaction. Maybe you can refer to the prescribed textbook, most of you are having it, or else you can also see the other textbooks, that's Olgi Palana and other thing. Fine. Okay, the zero order now here, this is with respect to first order SO2Cl2 term to give you sulfur dioxide plus chlorine again. And the other reaction, if you see with respect to second order, you can also mention this way, third order. And again, the hydrolysis of ester, you can see. So this is what I told you, will be doing it in the where in the practical class. Okay, so determining it as part of it. So these are all been known, so write this way. Have you written all these equations, student, for kinetics? So starting with it, the way you understand you can write, not necessarily whatever has been there in here in the slide, the way how you're going to understand. Anyway, all these things I'm not going to ask for you in the exam. These are the basic things which has to be known. Okay. So since the rate laws are in different form, we must integrate them to find out the concentration as a function of time. So integrated first rate law, straight order rate law, that's A tends to be rate is equal to minus dA by dt, that is equal to K of A, and separate concentrations and time terms if you can look into it with respect to it, and integrating over the limits of A naught to AT, that is 0 to T. So how do you going to do the further integrations? You can just do the representation. So you know the integration symbol, how you're going to proceed with, and do that way. And finally you get this derivation. You want to note it down fast. Hurry up. Till now all the few slides, whatever I have shown you earlier is just the basics. So the actual syllabus comes from this. Have you written? Shall I change?
Just a minute, ma'am.
Okay, fast. See, I told you just note down the steps. Later also you can do it. So the integrated first order rate law, just proceed this way, and these how it's going to be, and then we can. Okay, I'm changing, student.
Yes, ma'am.
So the integrated rate laws again, so you can represent this way. So write down this derivation further. So if we plot the graph in the case of y-axis, ln of AT versus time t. So the x-axis and y-axis, and we will get a straight line having a negative slope. The rate constants can be determined. The rate constants K can be determined from the experiment by plotting the data in this manner, and straight line equation y is equal to mx plus c. So the other forms, if you can look with the integrated rate loss, ln of a of t divided by a naught is equal to minus kt. So again, you can also represent in this way. So the integrated first order rate law finally can be this way. So rearranging this, so a of t is equal to, so write this way, a of t is equal to a naught further into e of minus kt. So that's, we have integrated from 0 to t. So now here the first exponential here, for our first order reaction, the exponential decay of the reactant in a first order reaction, the larger the rate constant, the more rapid the decay is. So when you're going to plot the graph this way, so things going to go this, and you can just take with x-axis what is the kind of a thing, and in y-axis you can just accordingly plot it. Okay. Okay, the next is the first order half-life. Yeah, T half. You might have studied about the T half. Maybe in most of the entrance examination paper, you might have studied they will be asking you for find out the order of the reaction as well as the half-life. Isn't it? Have you done it or not in your entrance exam? That's a common question you have, isn't it? In most
Done,
of
ma'am.
your,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Yes,
So
mom.
this, yes. So this is again, all these things are basic things. So that's why I'm not going in depth into it, thinking that you have done it earlier itself. So half-life is the time it takes for the student. I told you, do not interrupt. There are more attendees, especially generally we have.
Ma'am, you didn't go through the page 41. After 40, you came to 42. Whether that slide is not there, ma'am?
Yeah, again, there's some net issues. Okay, so or there are more than 100 to where
Ma'am, your voice is cracking, ma'am.
some okay, Saturdays also we can have, so better water time, that time
Ma'am,
we
your
shall
voice is breaking,
We are
ma'am.
not
not
audible.
audible. Now
Your voice is breaking a lot.
I have no I don't know what's happening with the net this here. Anyway, shall I proceed then? You can half life as a time that is used by half. So ln of a of t equal to minus kt. So ln divided by 2. Can you hear me? Students, can you hear?
Ma'am, it is breaking a lot, ma'am.
Breaking a lot. Okay, today you are just maybe the other day I'll go to classroom and check it out. Maybe I'll change the place. Right now I'm in my cabin. I'll change the place and see. Okay. So here the half-life is the time it takes for the original concentration to be reduced by half from above. So ln of AT by A naught is equal to minus KT. So ln of A naught divided by 2 divided by A naught is equal to minus K of T to the power half. So here ln of half is equal to minus K of T, T half, and that is equal to minus 0.693, that is equal to, you can just rearrange this T half as equal to 0.693 divided by K. So it is clear that, are you writing this step, students? It is clear from the result the half-life of the reactant is independent of its initial concentration for the first order reaction. Therefore, the concentration of A at some arbitrary stage of the reaction is going, then it will be having to fall to half after a further interval again. So you can concentrate the y-axis and the half-life, that's time with respect to the x-axis. You can see what's happening first half, second half, and third half. It goes this way. So the first order half-life can be written as, so another important point to be noted is with respect to the time concentration of the to fall to 1 value, okay, equal to minus A of A naught minus ln of 1 by E. Time constant for the first order reaction is the reciprocal of the rate constant tau. Integrate, you see, so A tends to give B, and minus dA by dt is equal to K of A to the power of 2. So here we are going to see the second order one. So minus, and in this case, dA by dA, that is the reactant with respect to it, so D, that is K of dt, you can just rearrange the same thing and then take the reciprocal of it further. So the integrated zero order rate law, you can just see here, A tends to V, and again minus dA by dt, which is equal to the rate constant and the equal this way. Right, two things. Have you written? Students, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In between, did you hear me or not?
Ma'am, your voice could start cutting.
Okay. Okay. Let's down this second order rate law. So the pseudo first order reaction can be the second order or bimolecular reaction that's made to behave like a first order reaction. So the reaction occurs when one material is in great excess, maintained the constant concentration paired with the substance. Normally large as compared to that way. The reaction will be a sort of first reaction. With respect A, component A is a large concentration high. The reaction is pseudo first. Simple example of this with respect to it and happening here. So the reactant side, if you can see across the alcohol, the concentration of water is high and doesn't change during the course of the reaction. If you see the concentration, we're not interpreting that. So the rate is equal to the rate. This can be even made it as A. So any simple examples, you just take it and you just represent this way. So once again, repeat, a pseudo first order reaction can be defined as the second order or bimolecular reaction that's made to behave like a first order reaction. So the reaction occurs when one reacting material is present in great excess and is maintained at a constant concentration when compared to the other substance. So the rate constant of most reactions increases with increase in the temperature. So when you go for the Arrhenius equation, so the representation is that this way, where A is your pre-exponential factor and E is the activation energy. The right with respect to this Arrhenius. Now again, the equation, take the ln k with respect to the y-axis and 1 by t with respect to the x-axis, where you can just mention both things. When ln k against 1 by t is a straight line, when it follows the behavior described by the Arrhenius equation. So the higher the activation energy E, if the activation and its rate is independent of temperature. So if you're going to plot a graph versus, that is ln k versus 1 by t, you will get the value of A from the value of the evaporation energy from below. So the energy barrier, that is the interpretation of the Arrhenius parameters, if you can see. So K is equal to A of minus, that is E to the power of minus EA by RT. So this is known. So to interpret EA, let us consider the collision between the molecules of A and B, that is the reactants. So how does this collision theory go ahead? So the collision theory actually go ahead with the rate of reaction proportional to the rate of react collisions. First one. So the reacting species, that is the RS in other. So the reactant species RS which must collide in an orientation that allows contact between the atoms that will become bonded together in the product. So for the collision, how it's going to occur? The collision must occur with adequate energy in order to permit some mutual penetration of this RS. That is the reacting species. So the valence shell, so that the bonds that can rearrange to form new bonds.
Your
Therefore,
voice
a lot
is
of new chemical species will be formed out. Yes, Ellie?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking a lot.
Ma'am, we couldn't understand anything after integrated zero order.
Yes, ma'am.
Which one, ma? After?
Integrated zero order.
Okay, no problem, student. I will. Okay, but from where the problem is? From zero order or hear me? Here. This one?
Ma'am, we couldn't hear this
From this
also.
one? Okay. Okay, student. Anyway, I'll just take some other time then once again. When it is been known? Tell me, till which slide? Half-life, are you able to hear? Please, with respect to half-life. Tell me. Can you